It is Wednesday, August 28th. The Phillies are a win away from a sweep against their World Series old rivals, the Houston Astros. And folks, for those of you who aren't in the Philadelphia area, it is a scorcher today. We've seen a temperature drop lately. It's been low 80s, even got down to the 70s for a few days. But today it's about 95 degrees. So it is going to be an absolute scorcher. Tyler Mroz, Heat Ratio Sports, Phillies pregame show. And last night, Phillies have a huge victory. They win the series against the Astros last night off of a 5-0 victory. Nick Castellanos, a 3-run bomb off of Justin Verlander. Verlander threw him a curveball, but it really didn't curve as much as he wanted it to. And Nick Castellanos took advantage of that, made it a 4-0 ball game. Phillies tacked on an extra run after that. Aaron Nola pitched a gem, 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, striking out 6. One of his best performances of the year, showing as to why he is not just still one of the best Phillies pitchers right now, but of the last 10 years, I would say. Obviously, you have 2014, that's past Roy Halladay, that's past Cliff Lee. I think Cliff Lee played in 2014, 2013. But you could argue that Aaron Nola is the best pitcher the Phillies have had in the past decade. I certainly think so. He has the longevity, has the numbers, has been inconsistent at times, but still, Aaron Nola comes through in the big games, always does well against the Astros, did decently well against them in the World Series, minus the Kyle Tucker home runs. But yeah, Aaron Nola, a gem. Phillies win back-to-back series, and that's huge because tonight, Taijuan Walker is back on the mound, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you view it, going up against Spencer Arrighetti, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He's 6-11 with a 4.94 ERA, a strikeout guy. We'll get into that in a couple seconds here, but Taijuan Walker, we'll be talking all about him, but didn't get to talk about it on the pregame show Friday. Jose Alvarado is out indefinitely to deal with a personal matter. He traveled back to Venezuela, left the team. Rob Thompson does not even know if he could be back at all for the season. So hopefully everything is okay with Jose Alvarado. I know in Venezuela, they just had an election and there's a lot of controversy surrounding that and a lot of protests. So I know there's a lot going on in Venezuela right now. So hoping everything is okay with Jose Alvarado and his family. And Weston Wilson was activated from the paternity list today. Buddy Kennedy was called up on Monday to take his place. Did not see the field. Weston Wilson is back now. Congrats to him and his girlfriend. Congrats to him and his partner on having a child. That is pretty awesome. And Phillies have their righty lineup, but again, no JT Realmuto. Garrett Stubbs is catching. He's batting 9th. So Austin Hayes and Brandon Marsh move up a spot. Hayes batting 8th. Marsh is batting 7th for the Titans today, and then Stubbs batting 9th. Garrett Stubbs coming off of a 4-for-4 game where he was a home run shy of hitting for the cycle. A lot of people were very angry with Rob Thompson's decision to bench JT Realmuto because the previous night he hit 2 home runs, a career high 7 RBIs against the Royals. And then Garrett Stubbs plays the next day, goes 4-for-4, gets on base all 5 at-bats, and was just a home run shy of the cycle. So maybe that'll be a bonus bet for tonight. You guys are going to have to wait and see. And then mentioned Spencer Arrighetti, really good strikeout guy as of late for the Astros. He has 36 strikeouts in August. He had some pretty impressive games. Let me pull this up here. He had 13 strikeouts against the Red Sox, 12 against the Tampa Bay Rays, 5 against the Chicago White Sox, and then another 6 in his last start against the Baltimore Orioles. So this is a guy that will strike you out. So Phillies need to show some discipline. That's not key, but one of the extra key. We'll call it an extra key. The spare key. Oh my God. I just thought of that on the spot. The spare key of the day, the HRS spare key of the day. Discipline, because Spencer Arrighetti can and will strike you out. I know the ERA is high, but he 13 strikeouts and 12 strikeouts in back-to-back games. That is impressive. I don't care how many runs you give up. If Taijuan Walker was striking out people at that rate and at least going as far as Aaron Getty went. Maybe a lot more people would be more fond of Taijuan Walker, but they're not. Keys to the game, whenever Taijuan Walker pitches, it's always him. He is the number one priority whenever he pitches because you don't know what you're going to get from him. Against the Astros, he played for the Mariners for about 7 years. It was 5-5, 14 games, 4.52 ERA. Believe he faced the Astros as a member of the Mets a couple times. So Taijuan Walker, man, Phillies offense. They need to get as many runs as you can get. Look at the last game against the Royals. You lost 7-4, but you get 11 hits, 4 runs. I mean, you just have to get – it's never enough. It's what they always say. You need as much insurance as you can get. Have it down here. Where is it? Did I not write it down? I guess – oh, here we go. Yeah. Obviously the Marlins game, not good for the entire team. They got shut out. That was just an abysmal game all around. But against the Nationals, Phillies got another 4 runs, 10 hits, and they still lost. They lost that game. So in the previous 2 Taijuan Walker games, the Phillies have gotten 8 runs and 21 hits, and they have lost both games by more than 1 run. So you need as many runs as you can get. You have no idea what Taijuan Walker is going to be doing. He has been awful for the Phillies this year. So the offense needs to step it up. Garrett Stubbs needs to have another 4-for-4 game today because I keep saying it. I can't understate it. The Phillies just need to score 6 or 7. They need to do what they did last night because you're not going to get an Aaron Nola-esque performance from Taijuan Walker. He's not going to go 7 innings. He's most likely not going to give up a shutout, or he's most likely not going to pitch a shutout, if that's the right word to say. But in all of his starts this season, he's given up at least 1 run. And since coming back from the All-Star, or from the not the All-Star break, well, technically, yeah. But since coming off the injured list, he's given up 5 home runs in his 3 starts. And mentioned in the pregame show on Monday that the Astros always do better when they hit home runs. Obviously, what team doesn't? But especially the Astros, they are one of the better offenses in the league. They don't strike out a ton. You saw Aaron Nola last night. Aaron Nola is a guy who always does historically well against the Houston Astros. But today, the Stros, and in today's game, they hit a lot of contact. They hit for contact. And they have a lot of guys that can hit for power. So you have to limit the home runs. That series they won against the Baltimore, or split with the Orioles. Both games, they went yard multiple times, especially Jeremy Pena. He hit 3 home runs in that series. And they got guys that can hit. Yordan Alvarez has 25. Alex Bregman has 21 bombs. Jeremy Pena has 14. And they even got some guys at the bottom of the lineup that can show some power. Jake Myers has 12 on this season so far. So you have to limit the home runs. That's just plain and simple. 5 home runs in his last 3 starts. So averaging almost 2 a game. So Taijuan Walker, it's literally all up to him. All of these keys today are based around him because I can't stress enough how much he is the X factor today. I get why Rob Thompson switched him and Christopher Sanchez in the rotation. 100% agree with that. If you were going to start Taijuan Walker, I would rather it have been today, even if you're down 0-2 in the series, but you're up 2-0 and you've won 4 of your last 5 games. You're on a 4-game winning streak. So it's not as big of a loss today, but you still need as many wins as you can going into the Braves series. And I would much rather have Taijuan Walker pitch a afternoon game against the Astros in a series where the Phillies have won 2 games rather than game 1 against the Braves, because he's most likely going to get lit up. You do not want to set the tone for a 4-game series with the Braves. The Braves are just 6 games behind the Phillies. You cannot have your worst guy, one of the worst pitchers, and not just for the Phillies. Obviously, he's the worst pitcher in the Phillies, but in the entire league, you just cannot have him start game 1 of a 4-game series. So applaud Rob Thompson for at least switching it. I don't think he should be in the rotation at all, but it is what it is. We got to deal with it. We got to live with it. If he comes out early, I would expect Michael Mercado to come in. He was called up for Jose Alvarado. He started the game for the Phillies and pitched in relief a couple times. Looked great his first game. did not look so great his next one or two. I would expect if Tyler Walker goes another 3 or 4 innings like he has since he's been returning from the injured list, I would guess that Michael Mercado would be the first man out. He might be the first man out no matter what. They might want to save their bigger guys for the series against the Braves, especially tomorrow. Game 1, such an important game in the series. Sets the tone, and especially it's a longer series. Braves are inching closer and closer to the Phillies. We'll get into them a little bit later on, but I can't stress how important it was to have that rotational switch. And speaking of things that are hot, it's really, really hot today. It's a scorcher, like you see in the thumbnail. But you know what else has been scorching? The HRS Triple play. So let's see what we got going today. We have been hitting we were always hitting. Every time we do these pre and post game or pregame shows, we've hit at least one. So recently, ever since the Royals series, we hit 2 on Friday, we hit 3 on Saturday, we hit another 3 on Sunday. I believe we hit a couple on we hit another 3 on Monday, which is insane. And then last night, Tony hit, I believe it was 2, could have been 3, but HRS Triple play has been hot, just like it is in the PA, New Jersey area today. So here's what we got today. Over 10 runs total at -110. This is probably going to be a game where both teams score a good amount of runs. You see their ERAs. Aaron Getty can strike out a lot of people, but he gives up a lot of runs as well. Has close to a 5 ERA. And then Taijuan Walker, obviously. I believe the over has been over 9 in each of the games he's pitched. The last 2 games at least. I know it was 6-4 the one game, definitely the last game against the Royals. But over 10 total runs at -110. Kyle Schwarber to get 2+ total bases at +125, and then Taijuan Walker under 2.5 strikeouts at +130. The Astros are a team that does not strike out a ton. If Aaron Nola was going up against any other team yesterday, he would probably have 9-ish strikeouts, and he only struck out 6 yesterday. But they are a team that does not strike out a lot. They are, I believe, number 3 in the league in strikeout percentage as a team. So Taijuan Walker, I don't see him getting more than 2. I really don't. So that's +130. And then the bonus bet. Mentioned Garrett Stubbs earlier. How about him to get a home run? He was a home run shy of hitting for the cycle in the previous game that he played. So why not today? It's an afternoon game. I don't know why, but I just, off the top of my head, I know Garrett Stubbs plays well in these not late games, but like the early-ish later games. But I remember 2022, he had a walk-off home run against the Marlins. I believe that was a 2 or 3 o'clock game. So why not? At +1,000 for a bonus bet, I think those are really good odds. I think he could come out swinging, carry on his hot streak in this hot weather. So again, over 10 total runs at -110. Kyle Schwarber to get 2+ total bases at +125. And then Taijuan Walker hitting the under. I'm smashing that under at under 2.5 strikeouts at +130. And then the bonus bet, Garrett Stubbs to get a home run at +1,000. And you see how hot this triple play has been. So use your code HEAT. This isn't going to last much longer. I believe just over a week until this code goes away. No more. So use it now. Go to Win Daily. We use the Win Daily method here. So go now to Win Daily Sports. Get your 50% off. Use that code HEAT. You would be able to pay off probably a lot. You'd be able to pay off a lot of weeks if you've been following us and betting on all the bets we've been doing the past, not just past week, but past month. So you definitely want to do that. I always like doing extra stuff at the end. This is a Philly show, but here at Heat Ratio Sports, we're not just Philly. So first half of the show, I like usually doing the game, what the storylines are, what's happening, any external factors. Like today, it's the Heat. But the second half of the show, after we do the triple play, I like to talk about other stuff too. But speaking of Phillies, on this day in 2018, the Phillies acquired slugger Jose Bautista from the New York Mets in a season where Bautista played for the Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies, which is kind of crazy all in one season. Someone as good as Jose Bautista obviously was his final year in the MLB, but played 27 games for the Phillies, batted .244, hit 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Phillies obviously were a couple years away from making the playoffs, so no playoffs for Bautista. Ended up finishing his career with the Phillies. I believe he retired as a Blue Jay. I would hope he did because he had some phenomenal years with them. But on this day, 2018, Joey bats to the Fightins and other stuff. The not just Philly stories of the day. Jason Hayward, former Dodger, signs with the Houston Astros. He is not in the lineup today. Did not see him yesterday. He was signed, I believe, right before the game yesterday. Hayward was with the Dodgers earlier this season, was DFA'd by them. They're getting some guys off of the injured list. Hayward, really good for the Cubs, former Brave. So Phillies, maybe we'll see him today. I doubt it. I don't think they will. I think he'll make his Astros debut in their next series. But again, Jason Hayward is now a Houston Astro. Braves have won 2 straight in Minnesota. They are a win away from getting the sweep. So Phillies and Braves could potentially both sweep divisional leaders. Yeah, they're both divisional leaders. Astros are in the lead, but I lost my train of thought there. The Twins, they got some competition. They are tied with, and the AL Central. The Royals are tied with the Guardians for first place in the AL Central. I lost my train of thought there. Twins and Royals were kind of neck and neck this year. I mean, the whole 3-headed monster of that AL Central has been neck and neck and neck for a majority of the year. Guardians, I believe they blew a 10-game lead. They were up at least 10 games. At some point, they were at one point the best team in not just the American League, but the entire league record-wise. Now the Royals are tied with them. They've won 2 in a row. Royals could be in first place in the American League Central after today. And the Phillies just beat them in a series. They obliterated them in the last 2 games. Going back to here, I usually do the Braves and the Mets. Mets have been struggling recently. They're 9 games out of first place. I don't see them being any kind of threat to the Phillies right now. It looked like they were starting to make a push, and then they just kind of went back to that fringe playoff team that I thought they were going to be in the preseason. So change it up a little bit. How are the Dodgers doing? They are in a 3-game series with the Orioles. Lost 3-2 last night, so good for the Phillies for seeding purposes. They play again tonight at 10 p.m. Cowboys news. We just talked about CeeDee Lamb the other day. They signed Dalvin Cook, the former Pro Bowler, 4-time Pro Bowler, spent last year with the New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens. Did not do anything with the Ravens. 67 attempts, 214 yards with the New York Jets. Didn't really play. They played Breece Hall. So Dalvin Cook requested a release. They were granted it. He went to the Ravens. Did not play at all. I don't know if he did. I think he got a couple carries in the postseason. Did not do anything in the regular season, though. Now he joins a running back room with Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdell. In 2017, that would have been by far the best running back room of all time. But Zeke, obviously, not what he used to be, was a split back with Ramondre Stevenson in New England last year. Now he's back in Dallas. And Dalvin Cook now joining them. He's starting off on the practice squad for the Cowboys. So almost a Cowgirls, but I gotta keep it professional on here. But yeah, Dalvin Cook to the Cowboys going on. I hope they get that sweep. They are 1 away. Taijuan Walker, can he do it? Taijuan Walker has a broom in his hand right now. He could sweep or he could just snap that broom in half with his performance today. So we shall see how he does that. Another cool thing, Netflix. For all you Netflix watchers and NBA fans, October 9th, a new series is releasing. It's called Starting 5. It's following LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, Domantas Sabonis. Who else? Where is that right? I wrote it down on my notes. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Sorry. LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, and Domantas Sabonis. It's like a behind-the-scenes thing. It's kind of like a Hard Knocks-ish. Like the receivers in the quarterbacks show that they did, but they're doing it with NBA players. It's called Starting Five. So that's going to be following them up to last year's season. So pretty cool, especially for Jason Tatum, who ended up winning the NBA Finals. So yeah, October 9th, Cowboys still won't win anything with Cook. I don't think so. Their offense has taken a toll. CeeDee Lamb just got paid a bag. So you question if he's still going to be as good as he was. I mean, obviously, he has all the talent in the world, but sometimes when NFL players get these huge contracts, they don't care as much. But I do think that their passing game is going to be good because Dak Prescott is vying for a contract. And for Michael Parsons' purposes, I hope Dak does really well and he gets a lot of money so that they don't have much to spend on Michael Parsons. And then Howie Roseman can swoop in and get him over to the Eagles. But the running game is pretty awful. Zeke is decent when he has a good running back to share it with. Like you saw it last year with Ramondre Stevenson with the Patriots. Zeke was decent. At this point in his career, he's not a starting running back. And in this running back room right now, he's the clear and cut favorite to be the number one guy. Rico Dowdell he's okay, but again, hasn't really done much in this league. They also have Deuce Vaughn in that running back room. Another guy hasn't really done much in the league. So they're relying on Zeke like it's 2018, and I think that's going to bite them in the butt. I don't think Dallas is going to win the division. I don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. So we shall see. I'm going to try and get on here and do a NFL, like a full predictions video. So you'll be seeing more of me. I won't just be doing Phillies pre and post game coming up. Hopefully going to start something new on this page. I'm in the process of getting that going, working on something else exciting as well. And then hopefully I can get on here soon, talk about some NFL. Big, huge season coming up for a lot of teams, a lot of quarterbacks. Hopefully, like I said, I'll be dropping some videos in the next week before the season gets going. Going back to baseball, a lot of people have been having this debate recently. Who is better between Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani? They are both generational. They are two of the best hitters, not just in my generation, in this generation right now, but probably ever. I really do think so. But this season, it's a gazillion % Aaron Judge. He's having one of the greatest seasons ever. He's got over 50 home runs. It's not even September yet. So if it weren't for Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt would be the AL MVP. But guess what? Aaron Judge is there, and he is an alien right now. He's batting 333. He's got over a 430 on base percent. I want to get his exact numbers because I just can't stress enough how insane of a season this is for Aaron Judge. He's what, 29 years old? 30? 32. Really? He's 32. Wow. He did debut a little bit later. Okay, so this is August 28th. There is little over a month to go in the regular season. He's batting 333, a 465 on base percentage. His OPS is a 1.197. League average is probably like 700, and I think it's lower than that. So probably double the league average for OPS. 51 home runs, 122 RBIs. Folks, there's still a month left in the season, and he had 62 home runs 2 seasons ago. That broke the American League single season record. He's 12 away from breaking that record with over a month to go. That's insane. 122 RBIs compared to 131. He is 9 away from tying what he did in 157 games, and he's only got 131 games played right now. So unbelievable season from Aaron Judge. For people saying clashing over who's better, just appreciate that the sport of baseball can have two guys as good as these two phenomenal players. Shohei Ohtani, obviously, maybe a better overall guy because he can do the pitching too. But right now in 2024, it is without a doubt Aaron Judge. No disrespect to Shohei Ohtani, best player in the league with Aaron Judge. And Shohei Ohtani is most likely the National League MVP as of right now. I don't really know or think that anyone's going to be able to catch him. Bryce Harper kind of fell off a cliff. Ketel Marte had a little bit of an injury. So I really don't see anybody overtaking Ohtani. And then even if Judge gets hurt, he still deserves it. What he's been doing for not just himself, but for the Yankees is pretty insane. Doing it all with Juan Soto, who's having a career year, which is saying something. Post game, as always, 5 to 10 minutes live here on Heat Ratio Sports after the final out. Make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, and pressing that notification bell. You get notified 30 minutes before we go live, and you get notified when we're going live. So, especially for the post games, you get notified as soon as I go on. As always, it depends if it's a blowout or if it's a closer game. So, hope to see you all at the post game show. Hopefully, we can talk about a Phillies win. Hopefully, I can see you at the post game show. Hopefully, we can talk about Phillies win. Hopefully, you're not too stressed out. Hopefully, the vibes are high. Hopefully, it's not too hot for the team. But as always, Tyler Mroz, Heat Ratio Sports. Appreciate you all tuning in. As always, see you for the post-game show. Stay fresh, my friends.